how's it going? If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at the Redragon Galatin Pro K719 keyboard. This is a 95 key keyboard. It's got every key that's on a full size, just a little bit more compact. And we're going to check out what comes in the box. We're going to unbox it, see how it sounds, check out the software. So guys, sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. All right, and here we go. The Galatin Pro 95 key keyboard, full size or close enough to full size, being 95%. Here on the back, we do have a little bit of the details being gasket mounted, tri-mode connectivity, the Mint Mamba switches that these come with for a fantastic sound. We do have the media knob and screen, which is one of the fanciest parts of this, so you don't have to necessarily use the software for everything you want to do, because you can do it built in. But of course, before we get into it, we got to talk about those tech specs of what this keyboard has under the hood, and let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, we're going to start off with the Redragon Mint Mamba linear switches. These are factory lubed. Of course, they're going to be hot swappable, so if you want to swap them out, you absolutely can. Gasket Mount design along with PBT keycaps. It has 5 layers of sound dampening. It has a 1.14 TFT display where you can use to connect with the different modes, show the battery, GIFs, and of course change the colors and RGBs. The control knob is how you navigate and control things on the screen for the volume, brightness, and everything else in the settings. Tri-connectivity for USB-C, 2.4 wireless, and Bluetooth, that is 5.0. There's a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and so the weight is supposed to be 1.15 kilograms, or about 2.5 pounds, which we will check that here later in the weight test. But overall, if you guys are enjoying it this far, go ahead and drop a subscribe, drop a like, add a comment if you have any questions. If there's something that I don't check or mention here in the video, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments, and I'll happily test it or check it out if I can, and I'll get back to you. But with getting back to things, let's go ahead and get back to the unboxing so you guys can see exactly what you get in the packaging. All right, and back to the unboxing we are. We're going to go ahead and get the lid off of this box. And then right inside here, we do have the keyboard in a nice sleeve with, looks like some goodies trying to fall out the back. We'll go ahead and get the keycap puller here from underneath. And we'll go ahead and get these cards and manual out of here, which, of course, we have the stickers that you know and love from Redragon, plus the manual. Now, underneath the front compartment here, we will have the cable that it comes with. And then we do get that little extra box, which I conveniently left in it. But those are going to be some replacement switches inside of there. Now we're going to go ahead and check out this cable. We do have a right angle USB-C with a USB-A adapter on it. Do love, and I wish they would, on all of the models, go ahead and go to the USB-C with the USB-A adapter, but not all of them come with it. But we will see. Let's go ahead and get it out of the sleeve here. And this is the Galatin. This is the white and green version. Looks nice, sleek. The letters are really easy to see. We'll check that out here in just a second. We'll go ahead and see. We got the manual here. And you get 3-mode connectivity. We'll start out here with the layout. And it's not a roadmap fully, because it only folds out one way, but do prefer a booklet. But I understand how you can't do a booklet with something like this. Now we'll start off with the support here and the connectivity and how to use the wired mode, the 2.4 wireless, and Bluetooth. We do have some of the product features here and some of the hotkeys on what you can use. Feel free to pause if you need to. We do have some more of the hotkeys and what things can do on the keyboard. The knob with the screen, power mode, how to charge it, FAQ, battery regulation, and things that they have to put on here. So nothing too crazy. It's not a super in-depth manual, but most of the things you can do, it's okay. But again, most things you could do either on screen or in the software. Now, of course, as I mentioned, the glorious stickers that you get with every Redragon product. So if you're running low, you don't worry, you get more. And we do see those PBT keycaps here looking really nice. We'll check out the sound here later, but so far it feels really good. The knob is really nice, really clicky. You're not going to misclick on it by any stretch of the imagination. When you do, you'll know it. And of course, the back, it's pretty clean. We do have the center sticker, as we always do, and it has the information if you guys want to look that up here. I do know as far as the batch numbers go, depending on your batch number, you do need to update your firmware, so take note of that. Now, right here on the side, we will have the slider that does go between wired, which is off. Then you go to the 2.4, and it shows linking. And at this point, you would then plug this into the computer, and then it should connect. Now, if you go ahead and click and use this wheel a little bit, you have the options here: color, speed, language, effects, brightness. We can change the colors right on the fly. I change it straight to green every time because might as well. We do have brightness. You can kind of see it, but let me go ahead and turn off this light real quick so we can see that a little bit better. And now we'll go into the dark mode. So color looks really good. It's really clean. These are north-facing LEDs. We'll go in here to the colors. We can see transfer between different colors. We got the rainbow effect. And then, of course, you can change the effect itself and then come back in here and change it to a specific color or going over to RGB. But we'll go more into depth with that as we get into the software. It's got a visualizer, so we'll check that out here later. Of course, turning it back on puts it back into pairing mode. You can see the date, the battery, the time, and then, of course, we have lock, num lock, caps lock, everything on there. But again, feels good. Feels clean, but what we're going to do next, we're going to go ahead and set this down and go ahead and go into the software testing. So we're going to go ahead and get the software installed. We're going to go ahead and check out everything it can do. We're going to speed run it a little bit because there was a lot that this thing can do, as most of the keyboards these days. So we're going to speed it up a little bit. I'm going to keep giving you some information. We'll start out with the colors and effects. That'll just have some glorious music with it, so we can just do a bit of a montage of what it can do, and then I'll come back in for more detail after that. All right, and now you guys know what all the colors are going to do. Let's go ahead and see what else we can perform here. We are going to go into the button settings and see what it can do. You can remap every single key, what it does, the functions. We have mouse effects and clicks you can do. You have a fire key, standard keys. You can remap this to pretty much anything along with multi-functions. We have media controls, including website pop-ups for your browser. We have macros you can select, which we'll check out the macros here after this. And then we have office keys for using it in the office space for saving, opening. Which again, speaking of those macros, you can use those for business use as well. You just go ahead and make a new macro, go ahead and hit record. It'll record the button types that you do in the milliseconds, or you could select a fixed one, which is what I prefer to do to make it the fastest possible. You can export, you could save it, or go ahead and send it to someone else. You can also lock the Windows key, exchange, in keys, change the USB rate for the hertz, which I don't know why you would. You can also use the screen. You can either upload a GIF or you can draw your own, which I'll go ahead and kind of demonstrate here. Add a frame, go ahead and change the color. And then look, you can just draw if you want to make that. You can create your own slideshow if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and erase a little bit extra that I did. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but you can add frames if you want. You can upload, again, pictures or GIFs if you'd like as well. You can adjust the profile. Again, export, copy, reset, delete, or import from someone else. Up here in settings, you can change the language. And then, of course, you have your firmware version number. Now, I want to make a note right here at the end. So in the software, depending on your batch number, you guys can go to the Redragon website. When you download the software, it'll tell you. I don't remember. I think it's like something after like 5,000 on the number. You have to, it's before it, you have to update. If it's after that, you don't. So it just kind of all depends. Mine is an earlier batch by a few thousand, so I had to update the firmware. But if that's not you, then don't worry about it if you got a newer one. But that is something to take note if you want to use either the firmware upgrade and then use the new one, or there is an older version of the software you can download as well. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see how this thing sounds. Since these are pre-lubed Mint Mamba switches, they do have a very distinctive sound. So let's go ahead and check out the sound test. Okay, we heard the sound test. It sounds great. It does have that little clickety-clack that a lot of people do enjoy, but if you do like the clickety-clack, that may not be for you. And of course, these are hot swappable, so if you like the keyboard, you can always swap out the keys, the keycaps, whatever you want to do, and that's totally up to you to swap everything out. That's totally fine. It's totally moddable. But let's go ahead and check out the next one. We had 1.15 kilograms is what it was rated for, supposedly. Now, that could be, depending on the advertising, that could be the whole box or the keyboard. So let's go ahead and go into the weight, and let's verify that. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing turned on and check out the weight. It's still 884.5, so this will be a little hefty, and as far as traveling with it, this might be a little rough. Lastly, let's go ahead and check out how loud those clicks were. We'll go ahead and get the sound meter out, and let's see how loud, decibel-wise, you're going to be hearing this and how everybody around you is going to be hearing it. All right, and as I tap away, we're looking at about 55, 56, 57 on the decibel levels. Not the loudest keyboard we've had, but not the quietest one. Now, some of these, as you smash them, it might get into the 60s, but it just kind of all depends. Now, the clicky wheel is still pretty clicky, but it's not as clicky as some of the keys. But you're still going to be sitting around the same 55 to 60 decibel level for that, depending on how far away people are. But overall, the Galatin is a great keyboard. It's a good size. I love the dumb pad. As I've grown, I love to have those. Now, if it's just for gaming, it's going to be quite big, so they will take up a lot of space. But if you need a numpad and you need that extra keys and everything with it, this is a great option. The Mint Mambas are lovely sounding to me. They hit my ears just the right way. Love to use this thing. And I've had plenty of keyboards across the board from Redragon over my time with them. And honestly, this is just, again, one of my top favorites, especially because of the size and everything with it. Love the color, too. Would love to see a black and green. Would love to see that, if possible. But overall, if you guys want to check it out, link for it will be down in the description. And, of course, if you do buy that, it does support the channel, and which I do appreciate it. Redragon does, too. But if you have, and again, any questions, anything at all, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them for use cases or scenarios if I can. And if you guys have any other questions about anything else on the channel, same thing. But until next time, if you guys made it this far, you guys are the best. And I will see you here on the next one. And I'll see you soon.